She never raised her voice. She never argued. She simply parked her rusty old pickup truck in the wrong spot and accidentally challenged the most feared CEO in the company. When Victoria Hale marched across that parking lot, heels snapping, temper boiling, nobody expected what came next. Not the employees watching with their phones up, not the investors standing behind her, and definitely not the woman she was about to humiliate. Because in front of the entire company, Victoria pointed at her Porsche and shouted, "Race me. If that old truck of yours somehow beats me, I'll give you my car." People laughed. People filmed. People thought they already knew the ending. But 30 seconds later, the Porsche was dead, the CEO was trembling, and the elderly janitor everyone ignored was holding the keys to the most expensive car on the lot. And the moment she spoke, every single person around her fell silent. "Sweetheart, you should never challenge someone who spent their whole life learning how to keep going, even when the engine fails." Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, because what happens next shows exactly how arrogance breaks and how dignity wins quietly. On a scorching Thursday afternoon, when the company parking lot shimmered under the heat like a sheet of silver, something unusual stopped everyone in their tracks. Victoria Hale, CEO, feared for her temper, admired for her cars, froze mid-step. Her polished heels clicked to a halt, her jaw tightened sharply. Someone had parked in her spot, but not just anyone. A rusty 1952 Ford pickup sat crooked across the painted lines, the faded red paint peeled like old sunburn. One headlight held on with tape, and the hood slightly dented, as if life had pushed it one time too many. Her employees gathered quickly, phones coming out like reflexes. Someone whispered, "Uh-oh, she's not gonna like this." Victoria glared. "Who parked this relic here?" And that's when the crowd parted. Walking slowly toward the truck was Ruth Daniels, 72 years old, silver curls tucked under a worn work cap. Navy janitor uniform faded from years of scrubbing floors. Her posture steady, her face soft, her eyes kind. She stopped beside the truck and brushed dust from the mirror. "All the spots were full, dear," she said gently. "Didn't think 5 minutes would hurt anyone." A wave of gasps and chuckles rippled through the crowd. Victoria folded her arms. "You parked this next to my Porsche?" Ruth tilted her head. "Both got wheels, don't they?" Phones shot higher. Someone whispered, "Oh, she did not just say that." Victoria smirked like someone who loved being challenged. "Since you think that old heap belongs next to a Porsche, let's make it interesting." She pointed at both vehicles, dramatic as always. "Race me. If that truck of yours beats my Porsche, I'll give it to you." The crowd erupted. People laughed, gasped, covered their mouths. A few shook their heads like this was the biggest mistake they'd ever seen a CEO make. Ruth wiped her hands on her apron and looked at Victoria with soft concern. "You're really sure that's something you want to risk?" "Oh, I'm very sure." And just like that, the wildest race in the company's history began forming under the blazing sun. Word traveled fast, faster than the Porsche ever would. Employees flooded the back lot, forming a loose semicircle. Some leaned against cars, some climbed onto curbs, phones everywhere. Victoria strutted around her Porsche, bragging loudly for her investors. "This baby can hit 60 in under 3 seconds, she said, touching the hood like it was made of diamonds. Meanwhile, Ruth lifted her truck's hood. A warm puff of gasoline drifted out. She tightened a belt with calm, steady hands, adjusted a hose, whispered softly to the engine, like talking to an old friend. "Come on now, girl. Don't embarrass me today." Someone laughed. "She's talking to the truck like it's alive." But one older man in the back muttered, "Truck like that's got history. You never know." The supervisor raised her arm. "Drivers ready?" Victoria flashed a confident grin and revved her Porsche, the engine roaring like thunder. The noise ripped through the air so hard a few people flinched. Ruth didn't flinch. She just closed her door gently, adjusted her seat, and wrapped her fingers around the wheel. 3, 2, 1, go! Victoria shot forward instantly, tires screaming in arrogant triumph. Ruth's truck rolled off the line slowly, humming unevenly but steady. People laughed. "She's not even trying." "This is gonna be over in 10 seconds. But Ruth just breathed slow and let the truck find its rhythm. Halfway down the lot, everything changed. Victoria felt her Porsche stutter. She frowned. The engine sputtered again, then again. Warning lights flashed across the dashboard. "No, not now," she muttered, pressing the pedal harder. But the Porsche choked, trembled, and died. Silence swallowed her. She stepped out, heat rising in her cheeks, panic spreading through her chest. Behind her, a soft hum approached. The old Ford truck rolled forward faithfully, like a heartbeat in the quiet. Ruth slowed the truck beside her and leaned out the window. "Need a lift, sweetheart?" The crowd exploded with shock. Phones started recording faster. Some people covered their mouths. Others couldn't believe what they were seeing. Victoria stood frozen. Her pride cracked like thin glass. Ruth unlocked the passenger door. "You wanted to finish the race, didn't you?" And Victoria, CEO of the entire company, climbed into the passenger seat of the truck she had just mocked. When they crossed the finish line together, the crowd erupted again, this time in stunned silence. Ruth stepped out of the truck, holding her back gently, the way older folks do. Victoria stepped out slowly, cheeks flushed, sweat sticking her blouse to her skin. No excuses, no power, no Porsche engine to hide behind. Investors approached with tight faces. "Victoria, this behavior has consequences," one said. "You challenged an employee in front of the whole company," another added. "And you lost." Victoria swallowed hard. The sting cut deeper than anyone could see. Then Ruth stepped forward. Everyone held their breath. She reached into Victoria's hand, lifted it, and placed the Porsche keys into her own palm. "It's a fine car," Ruth said softly, "but I don't want something for nothing." Victoria blinked, confused. "Then what do you want?" Ruth glanced at the crowd, then back at Victoria. "Respect for people who work just as hard as you, even if they don't shine as bright." A hush fell over the parking lot. Ruth lifted the keys gently. "You made a promise. I won fair and square. But I'm not taking your job or your pride, just your car." Victoria stared at the keys. The Porsche sat behind her, gleaming like a reminder of her own arrogance. For the first time in her life, she didn't argue. She nodded, and Ruth slid into the Porsche with a smile so small and gentle it softened the entire crowd. As she drove away, her old pickup sitting in the background like a loyal friend, employees whispered all around. She humbled her and didn't even raise her voice. That old lady's a legend. The video spread online like wildfire. Not because the Porsche broke down, not because Ruth won the race, but because of the image people couldn't forget. A powerful CEO being carried to the finish line by the woman she thought she was better than, and then handing over her most prized possession with nothing left to say. In the end, the lesson was simple. Pride breaks loudly, wisdom speaks softly, and sometimes the person you overlook ends up driving away in your car. If this story touched you, make sure you're subscribed. More stories like this are coming. Stories where kindness wins, ego breaks, and the quietest person in the room changes everything.